Okay, so now we're doing an unboxing of Marathon Dim Sims. Now, Dim Sims, note, it says Dim Sims, plural, Sims. It's not dim sum. These are not your typical Chinese or Hong Kong, Cantonese dim sum servings. These are quite large. They were developed by an Australian Chinese restaurateur for the Australian palate. Now, as you look at that, it's 500 grams, 10 pieces. So as per usual, we have a look around the front of the box. We turn it over on its side. We have a look at nutritional information. There it is. Moving right along, we have the ingredients. Note, the ingredients: cabbage, wheat flour, mutton or beef 23%, water, wheat starch, that's a thickener, salt, onion, sugar, Flavour Enhancer E621, that, as we all know, is MSG, and spices. So then we're moving down and around, and just got some details from Marathon. Now, why are we looking at Marathon Dim Sims? Well, it just so happens that Marathon Dim Sims happen to be pretty much the stable, goes to every fish shop and service station place for supply. They were one of the principal suppliers of dim sims, and now you can get them in the supermarkets, or you have been able to get them for some time, and I love them. These are not to be confused with South Melbourne dim sims, which are a legend in their own right, or were a legend in their own right. These are a commercial dim sim and basically the gold standard. Back in a moment with the unboxing. So we've cut it open, we've pulled in a clove of garlic just to give you an idea of the size of these things. These are pretty much standard garlic cloves thing. And if I put my hand in here, you can get an idea of how big that clove of garlic is. Right, so it's a fairly standard size clove of garlic. Right. Now, as you can see, we have the typical methods of preparation: steamed, deep fried. You can microwave them, and the latest trend is to barbecue them. Yes, we can even barbecue the dim sims. Right. Interesting. Never tried it myself. I love the steamed dim sim version myself. And it says here, place stored dim sims in a steamer containing boiling water and heat for 15 minutes, or if frozen, 20 minutes. So we're going to do 20 minutes over the stove here. Here's our steamer. We've got just some water bubbling away on low, and we've got a sieve to act as a rudimentary steamer in this particular case. Lid on to keep the steam in, to control the evaporation, and Bob's Ronnie's new living lover. So let's go back to the dim sims and pop them out. There we are, there we have them. That's what they look like. Right. They're about 20 centimetres long. They're also roughly 1 inch in diameter. As you can see, it's round. If we look at the seam, right, and more purposely at the top, we get a hint on how they're made. Basically, you have a square of pastry. It is folded so that the flutes go inside and the folds go over the top, and then the points are brought together at the top. And then we see the filling as well. And these ones are frozen. They're going to take about 20 minutes to look into. Pretty much the same thing. As you can see, they're all quite substantially larger than a clove of garlic, right? Whereas your normal Chinese dim sum, not dim sim, dim sum is much, much smaller, more like an amuse-bouche, tablespoon of this or that. So, this is dim sim, the Australian, the one and only dim sim. we're going to steam some, and then when we come back, we'll cut one open and have a look at the inside. See you then. So here we go, we got our steamed dim sim. As you can see, the skin has become much more translucent. I'm going to peel this off and pull it apart and dissect it and have a look inside. Back in a sec. So here we go, now we can see there's the layering of the skin, so it gives us a good example of just how thick that skin is. We can see bits and pieces of meat in there. Absolutely, that's a bit of meat in there. We've got some cabbage. We've got some other bits and pieces of cabbage in there. Some beans, it's supposed to be beans or whatever. No, that's cabbage. So then we've got some starch thickened filler there as well, and basically that's it. There's not all that much to it in there. What's interesting is this skin is quite robust. It's much stronger and harder than your standard wonton wrapper skin. See, can't pull a piece off there. There we go. So there we go. So I hope you found this autopsy interesting. That's the inside of a marathon dim sim. A look at the texture and the thickness of the dim sim dough, the dough wrapper, particularly seen there at the back there. Right. And a good look at what's inside the middle. Cheers, have fun, enjoy. Okay, last but not least, serving suggestion. Drop your dimmings, steamed dimmings in a bowl, grab some soy sauce, take it, pour it over your dim sims. There we go, lovely. That's one of the best ways to eat a dim sim ever. Enjoy.